So this week on the C3 Corvette project, we're not working on the C3 Corvette. We're putting up new cabinets. So one of the reasons why my garage is such a mess is my old cabinets literally fell off the wall a couple weeks ago. So I bought these off of Amazon, gotten them put up. A lot of the reviews for these cabinets said that the directions were horrible, and at first I didn't think that was true, and then I put one together and they are absolutely true. Probably took me 40 minutes to put that first one together because I had to take it apart twice, and this third one that I put together in about 12 minutes. So I thought I'd show you all how I do it in case you want to buy, or you're putting up some new Manhattan Comfort cabinets. You can also get these at Lowe's in addition to Amazon. Anyway, I'll give you a video of how I put them together. So these are actually packaged pretty well. They didn't come damaged or anything, but you can see from all the styrofoam and the cardboard that they did a pretty decent job of making sure they're not going to come damaged even if they get mistreated by the shipper. The first thing you have on top here is the doors. That's like one of the last things you need. So I'll just pull those off and set those to the side here. Then the next thing we have is these two pieces. These are the back. We don't need those for a little while, so we'll set those to the side for a minute as well. Then we have shelf and the bottom. This is the shelf on the inside. This is, actually that's the top, but set the shelf to the side. This is the bottom, number 3. There's a little sticker on there. The first one I put together actually didn't even have that sticker, so might have to guess. Number 2, that's a side. And here we go with the hardware. That's what we mount it to the wall. We'll get to that in just a second. And then there's the last piece. Alright, so what we want is number 3 back. Okay, this is where the directions really let you down. Doing it this way will make a big difference. Alright, so we want let's just set these on the ground for now. Alright, so we want number 3. We want this little lips that sticks up right here on the opposite side, and this piece right here with the little holes facing towards us. Ooh, it came damaged. That's not very cool. So we have number 1. You see it's got little holes on one side, no holes on the other side. So we want the little holes to line up with the little holes on the same side. And there should be an arrow sticker on here that points a direction. You see this one, it's actually pointed the wrong way, I think. So, or I think these are symmetrical and it doesn't matter which side you put one on, but yeah, that it technically goes like that, then you're following the directions. Alright, so out of the hardware bag, let's leave that off for a second. There's a bunch of this stuff we don't need right away. The only thing we really need out of here is bag A of screws and bag F of screws. These are Phillips head, these are an Allen wrench. Hopefully you don't have to use the Allen wrench that comes in the kit, but if you do, it'll work. Just take a little longer. Alright, so little holes to the same side as the little holes. This goes on the outside. It does help to screws out first. And we're just putting the screws in just enough to get it started. A couple of threads is all you need so it stays in place. We are purposely leaving these loose. And you'll see why here in a second. Alright, that's all you need there. Put those to the side. Alright, and now we have, that's the top, we don't need the top yet, we need this stuff too. Over here, again, the arrow should be going up. Little holes on the little hole side. And just slide that on there. A couple of screws. I'll put the screws in, just a couple of threads. That's all you need, just so it doesn't fall over on you. Front and back. And technically we have the back towards us, which is what we want. Alright. Those in. Now we got number 4. Goes on the top. Again, we want to pay attention to where the lip is. Lip goes away from us, little holes go towards us. And just drop that in there. There is a little shelf thingy for that to sit on, so you don't have to worry about being too careful with the line. Once it goes on, it's pretty easy. And again, just a couple of threads. Then I do the other side real quick, so I'm not having to support it. Sometimes they go right in, sometimes you have to wiggle them a little bit to get them to go. Sometimes they French you a little bit, like these two are. But all you need is a little bit started. Alright. Alright, again, leaving all those loose. Now we grab our two back pieces. On mine, they mushed these together so much I actually had to use this little wood scraper stick thing to pry them apart. But they come out eventually. Alright, the one with the slots, you need second. You don't need that one right away. So we put that one to the side. This one without the slots is the one we need first. Right. And we also need our small bag of screws, the F screws. Alright, what we're doing here is this, the nice looking side goes on the inside of the cabinet. We have small holes on one side and larger slots on the other side. So larger slots get lined up with smaller holes. So we have the smaller holes in the bottom here. So we want to line the larger slots up with this. We do is stick this in here. Get once. It's really hard to get these started by hand because you're literally cutting threads as you screw these in. So hopefully you have a drill and you're not trying to do it with a screwdriver, but if you don't, it'll probably still work with a screwdriver. So again, Phillips head. We're not going super tight on these first couple. Just get them started. And what we're doing is we're using these back pieces to square up the frame instead of having to try and make it hold it. I'm not sure when that stopped recording. So I went back and looked at the video to see what I missed when it cut off, and all we missed was putting this second back panel in. It goes in pretty easy. Just got to make sure you line all the holes up right. You want, or again, we want big slots with little holes, so I believe that's how the bottom goes, and goes in just like the bottom panel piece. Pretty straightforward. And then tightening these bolts, these screws up once once the back panel is all tightened down. Just tighten all that up, and then it's ready to go get hung on the wall, like that. But there it is, all done. Doors and shelf are relatively easy to put in. Got to put up the little bracket thing that holds the that acts like a little French cleat, holds it on the wall, so you want the long side going up. It was really nice. There, I got the packaging off. I actually put the holes on 16-inch centers so you can line them up with your studs, and as you can see, this is not the same length, so you can adjust wherever it needs to float in your cabinet to line up with the studs, so you can anchor into studs, which is really nice. I hate it when I have to use drywall anchors, especially for something big like a cabinet. You also have your, so I've got my laser level, so I can make sure that's the level, the line is where I just line that up with my holes, line that up with the studs. All my cabinets now are perfectly level. One more thing I want to show you is, I don't know if it's designed this way, but you can see these holes here. are for these acorn nuts and some screws just to bolt that. You can actually use those to bolt the cabinets together, which is what I'm doing, which is why I haven't put those in yet. I suppose I could put them on the ends here, because that's not going to matter. But what I've done for these two cabinets is after I put them on the wall, I actually go back in and bolt the cabinets together. That way, if you know, they fall off the wall, they all fall off the wall together like my other cabinet did. Anyway, that's my video for this week. Hopefully we get back to the C3 next week with a much cleaner garage. Bye.